It's by boat. But yeah, it's a couple hours offshore of Shanghai.
Oh, right, by boat. Derp.
No worries. All right, so this is session 54 of Master Nyarlathotep. You guys have dealt with the cult in the great city of Yith under the Great Sandy Desert in Australia. Not without some difficulty. Evelyn had some sanity to recover. Miles spends significant time resting up and recuperating from a near fatal wound. Alvin was shot by a cultist, and Evelyn made a deal with the Yithian that you rescued to bring Alvin back, which he did by basically cloning a body and then plucking Alvin's mind out of his body at the moment of death and putting it into the new one, as one does. But you guys do have several weeks, like probably about 5 weeks here in the great city, while Miles recovers. If there's anything in particular you would like to do, if there's anything that you want to ask Kakakatak, the Yithian, there are extensive archives here that she will give you access to. Uh, it's much more helpful if you actually read Yithian. But if there's anything that you wish to do or ask, if there's anything that you want to,
How should we tell him?
that's an important question.
I am going to sit out this portion and assume that you have this conversation before I ask you.
Yeah, while the new body is growing, this is a conversation the rest of them can have.
The answer is we don't.
We might need to stick to the most basic
We
truth.
need all hands on deck if you want to be truthful and honest about Alvin.
No, I
Yeah.
totally don't mind lying to him. I just want
Yeah,
to know that
I
all
think
of our story is straight,
I
so nobody
understand.
slips.
No.
I mean,
One thing we should ask him is what is the last thing he remembered?
I'd stick to the most basic truth. He was hurt in battle, and we managed to patch him up.
I'm all for it. I wouldn't want to know either. I mean,
If we tell him before we've done our final work, then that could be an unnecessary impediment.
I roll with that, and I'm totally okay with it.
Sure, that would be good for him.
Evelyn, do you have any strong opinions on this?
On which?
Telling our new Alvin exactly what or who he is.
Well, I think it's a difficult thing to ask. I Has he asked?
We're having a discussion before I'm awake and while my body is growing, because
Yep.
you guys figured it would be important to have a story. before I ask.
Yes, the first thing I think we
I
should do is when he pops out of there, find out what's the last thing he remembered.
It seems reasonable. That's crazy, but it seems reasonable.
I haven't been with you as long as others, but been a lot of crazy since I joined this ragtag gang.
I'd say same thing.
In such a situation, I'd probably prefer not to know.
You're very faint, Yorick. I can't hear you.
can.
In a similar situation, I think I would not want to know. Is that better?
A little
Yep.
bit, yep.
It is better, but I'm also upping your game.
Oh yeah. Technology just don't like me.
I'm honestly not sure what we should tell him.
He was wounded, and we nursed him back.
That works.
It's not half untrue, neither.
It's just medicine that I cannot wrap my head around, but still medicine, I think.
First thing we do is we make sure that his original body is nowhere where he can see it, and we say that Katak used its talents to heal him.
Did they grew him a belly button?
Oh
I
my
certainly
god.
hope so. I'm I'm not sure. I didn't look that closely.
You know, we can get an auger or something that like an ice pick. You can just dig into the flesh a little.
Don't break him, it's brand new.
Oh,
He
that way
might
he's not.
have. It does bring up the idea, though, that he might have scars that aren't visible any longer. But we can just say that the advanced medical technology that was used healed all of those as well.
I think that's better than going into more detail. And that's
Better than saying that your body died and we had your brain transplanted into a new clone.
exactly. I don't want to hear that. It's exactly what I wouldn't want to hear. I mean, attack just explained to me a couple of things. Might as well be magic, but apparently it's just physic. No, you know.
Advanced technology looks like magic. For all we know, in 100 years, this will be commonplace. It just isn't yet. So I think just advanced medicine is enough.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's go with it.
All right.
Next subject is that we're gonna need to put the seal on this place. There's not much of us. Maybe we should look at finding a few people to give us a hand. Spread the burden a bit.
Yeah, a hand.
You know what I mean?
No, I do. I mean, it still doesn't feel right. I mean, we're gonna do it. It's just it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's just we're asking for people for a bit of themselves to prevent them from just getting obliterated by whatever would happen if we don't.
Like my pure blood.
We need the blood, and we need some people to chant, and we need some people to make the sacrifice. It's better than people dying or sacrificing people.
Yeah, totally. I mean, totally.
But we got a bit of time in front of us for uh Alvin to grow and for wounds on Miles to heal.
Will we have a baby, Alvin?
No, it's a full-grown body.
I would hope it's not a baby Alvin.
That would be a little harder to explain.
Yeah. I mean, mini Alvin with like his tiny hat and his tiny gun would make great merch, but I don't think that's what we need to focus on right now.
That would be the most adorable Thompson machine gun ever, though.
Oh yeah.
So strange. Well, we need to find people to somehow get down here? Or where are we planning on doing the ritual?
Well, finding a place to do the ritual would be the first step. Because nothing is high up, but maybe something high up inside the city?
I
Or
don't know.
do we not have to go back to that island in China?
We also have to do that thing over there. We have to finish here
Yes.
first.
I'm forgetting. Do we have to do the ritual in a specific area?
Someplace high up.
It's like a bubble. And it starts, the tip of the bubble is where we do the
But
ritual.
theoretically, any country or a specific country?
Oh, we need to do it at every spot where they would have done the ritual. The little tiny ruby on the world map, like where their
Right.
line is
So,
passing, and this is one of
so,
the place.
so did they not do a ritual in China, or am I mistaken?
They did. We fled before doing it.
Because we could not access the island, it was full of everything, and the Rebel Alliance was not ready to move yet, so we needed to give them time to regroup and assemble their troops so we could follow them there. Hopefully, they'll be ready when we come back.
And also, you guys didn't have the complete right at the time.
Oh yeah, that too. Good point.
But you guys are all aware that bringing like ordinary people down here is probably not going to be good for their
Sanity.
for their mental stability.
For the old noggin.
So we need to find people that are already a bit insane.
Oh dear.
People that are ready to believe or that already believe in this place.
They need. We need someone who's pure.
I still am.
How?
I don't read books.
Well, yes. That's probably for the best.
The local tribe,
But you've seen things.
But I
Yeah,
did
I've
not
seen
try to
things.
understand those. I just accepted that those things were shit. But we can try to find somebody else. I mean, I kind of like my blood where it is.
I mean, some of the tribes around here add stories about this place, so they might be more open about helping us with that.
There's no way the Aboriginals are going to go into an underground city with a bunch of white people.
Nope,
You,
and I
you
don't blame them. That's a good call on their part,
yep.
for sure.
Honestly,
That's how you get problems. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't trust the white people.
that's yeah. That should probably be blazoned across everything. But we might find people in the bars that we were meeting folks in. There really aren't a lot of people around here.
Nope.
But if we tell them that we've found the thing that has been attacking the cattle, we might be able to lure some of the more machismo
Gullible.
filled men out here.
I do appreciate the use of the word lure.
They might be tempted to come out and prove themselves.
You want to play the
Uh,
damsel in distress?
I'm not very good at it. I can try.
I mean,
I'm just
pretty sure there's a bunch of people we could convince with money.
money is also a good motivator. Yes.
It just won't have a good effect on their sanity to come down here.
They live here, so their sanity must be
That's.
crap.
I mean, that's going to be true regardless of whether we bring them here or not. This isn't good for anyone in any fashion. They can be attacked at random, or we can bring them here.
Do they have to participate in the ritual, or they just have to be here?
No,
Yeah, they need to be chanting.
they need to be chanting.
We need them to chant.
That's the other part that's gonna be like hard to explain.
It's a hard sell.
Wait, it's a hard sell.
Well, money might be the way to go then. If we're going to try to sell it.
In
Nothing wrong
another
with bribery.
Hmm?
in another
Bribery.
context, it would be a very funny joke.
Yes, well.
Let's go bribe.
Let's go bribe.
Are you guys waiting until Alvin is ready and Miles is healed before doing this?
Well, we're gonna check for when the timing for the moon will be right, and start looking for the spot to do it while they're healing. But leaving this place to find people, we'll probably need to wait for them to be better.
Yep.
So the new moon is in about a week and almost 2 weeks. It's a week back to the nearest civilization.
Ugh. So if you
Sorry,
want,
the new moon is when?
So currently, it would be. So currently,
How many days?
it is the 4th of October. The new moon is on the 17th, so you have 13 days. And it is a week to Port Hedland, a week back. However long it's going to take you to find people,
And then get them here again.
and then get them here again.
Oh.
And then the next full moon is the 16th of November.
We cannot afford to do it ourselves.
Not if we're going to have to do it again in China.
Yeah, but in China, don't you have allies?
Well, I don't know how many of them are still alive. There was local political upheaval happening.
Still better than a dessert.
I've Yes, but fewer people who speak English. Which may or may not be a benefit. I don't know yet. Kakakatak, is there any way for us to travel faster back to the nearest town?
I
well,
can teach you hyperspace geometry.
I have a feeling that would probably take longer than it would for us to just travel back to town.
Oh, perhaps.
I've been listening to him explain. It's understandable-ish.
We need people.
Let's be straight about this. We need to perform a ritual so that the people who captured you cannot do rituals, or they're the way they captured you again here, and it takes a toll on our soul. Usually, the more we are, the lesser the toll, but we're not numerous enough. Do you have a suggestion or a solution for us?
Go get followers.
Yeah. Okay. So, same plan as me. I mean, it was worth it to ask. He could have had a workaround that terrible cost.
I was hoping for a faster way to travel back to town. But
Well, that thing might be a faster way to get us to China, though.
maybe. Chris, what's the date that's supposed to be the end of the world?
January 14th.
As we know it.
Ah,
Okay.
It's
What
now
about-
October.
It is
Yeah.
it is October 4th. By the time Miles is healed up, it will be deep into November.
I'll listen to what Akatak has to teach. Maybe it can get us to China faster. We could send a group to town, see if they can recruit people while people are healing. See if we can catch the new moon that it's coming.
we are cutting this so close.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, Kakakaka can teach you the gate spell.
Dear.
Yep, I'll learn that.
Nothing's ever wrong with spells.
which
Technically, it's not spell; it's physics, but it's a spell.
does
Or rose by
have
any other name.
a permanent power cost to create the gate,
Yeah, I assume so.
and a sanity cost for going through the gate.
Oh, that sucks.
We can call that spell now Evelyn's Bane.
Wait, does that mean that anyone that you bring is going to go potentially crazy?
Though it's only one sanity point to travel through the gate.
For people who aren't, on the verge of losing it all the time, it's probably not a problem. For some of us, though, who know things, we know how badly it could go, and it kind of freaks us out a bit.
Sucks. Yep.
Sometimes the less you know, the less terrifying things are.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, considering where your old on your power is, might be better if it's my power that's put in there.
Maybe. I would have to agree.
So the question is, do we want to split the group and half of the group is going in town to recruit people so we can try to catch the next full moon? Or we wait for the next one? The next new moon, sorry.
The one in November. I would like to get this done as quickly as possible.
So let's go and persuade people. That's what I'm good at.
I'll look over Alvin and Miles. And you two
I can stay here
Make sure,
if you
that
need.
they have belly button.
That we have a friend that's waiting for us outside. Some of us can take the ride with him. We could always bring Miles for him to be in a real hospital.
Was there a real hospital where we were?
Oh God,
Absolutely
no.
not. You're right. There absolutely was not. You're totally right. Damn it. Yeah. Attack setup is probably the best one we're gonna find.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
It's it would probably be enough to heal Luther's arm.
Maybe we could bring him here when it's all done.
I don't think he would come here voluntarily.
Good man.
He might. It's hard to tell. And we haven't spoken to him in ages. I haven't spoken to him in ages. Not since he went back to the States. But I can stay here unless you think you'll need to have me play damsel in distress. But otherwise, I think that Gary telling them stories about how this is going to be more exciting than his bar mitzvah would probably get
Already
people.
is.
Oh, it's... Yes, I hope so. I'd hate to think that your bar mitzvah was worse than this. Oh, that's a horrific thought.
Okay. Everybody who is like conscious and awake, give me intelligence roll.
Oh, no. After my rolls
Sorry.
last night, I'm terrified.
Chris told us. Sorry, intelligence?
Yes, please.
Nothing but
Whoa.
fails and crit fails last night.
Shit.
It was so
Oh, actually, I
bad.
was okay. I thought I was the one that rolled the 90. I guess that was Gary.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So Evelyn and Miles. So a couple of things. The trip back to Port Hedland. Assuming nothing goes wrong, nobody gets lost, vehicles don't break down, and everything like that. It's going to take you, a week. It's going to take you at least a couple of days to find people, convince people, and load on more supplies. And then, assuming nothing goes wrong, it's going to take you a week to get back. You are not going to hit the window for the new moon on the 17th. If you're planning on to use a gate from here to China, it will save you time, provided it works. If it doesn't work, you will not get to China before the eclipse.
Foreshadowing, Chris, is foreshadowing.
That's what intelligence rolls are for.
So it sounds like we should use the gate.
From where you are, it's like I said, it's a week to Port Hedland. Assuming you can catch a tramp ship, it's another week to Darwin, and then it's another 3 weeks from Darwin to Sydney. So that's 5 weeks. And then it's another 3 weeks. So it's 2 months from your current location to Shanghai.
So that is cutting it super close.
Far too close.
Maybe we need to do the ritual here by ourselves and hope for the best to gather a big group to do it over there.
Sorry,
But
Chris, I'm forgetting that.
I'm definitely learning the extra dimensional things, so maybe we have a chance of getting there in time.
Sorry, what was that, Mark?
I'm forgetting. There's no port in Darwin that we can take for a boat.
There's no big enough ships. Like there's no ships that go from there to China. Like everything along the coast of Australia, except from major cities like Sydney, is like kind of like a local couple of weeks. Nothing for like an ocean voyage across the ocean to China.
And planes are still out of the question, right?
Planes are possible within Australia. Australia is like a hopping place, going from place to place. Most planes fit 4 people, including the pilot. But there's no transatlantic or oceanic flights.
Well,
So
I don't
really
know
that-
who's willing to learn how to do interstellar geometry, but if necessary, I will learn it.
I'm already on the case, but maybe better more than one person knowing it.
Yeah, Kakatak will gladly teach people.
While people, we can't move anyway while people heal and people grow back. We can try to do it just ourselves.
We
in 2
have
weeks.
to.
So, and then as soon as people are on their feet, we can try the portal. Otherwise, time will not work.
Time sucks.
Kinda, yeah.
Well, all right then.
Maybe we can convince a bunch of coyote from outside to like owl in a way that fits with the mantra.
That was very funny, but I would be afraid to anger the coyote leader.
Yeah.
Call him Mr. Nakey.
Yeah, I was trying to be funny.
It
Maybe
was
our new friend would be willing to help.
Captain Shaft.
I don't even want to know who you're referring to with that. That's that. No, if Kakakatak. I don't know if they're able to take part in this ritual or if it would go against their
Religion.
plans, religion, sure.
I mean, if it's something they've never tried, it might be something they like. They want to try everything. They wanted you to bring coffee and booze to try. They never tried the ritual. They might want to try the ritual.
Ah, maybe.
If they never had a bar mitzvah, maybe they want a bar mitzvah too.
They have no interest in your primitive ape-like primate superstition.
Our bizarre religions.
Yeah, I'll focus on
How about a
learning-
ritual? Can we tempt you to try a ritual?
I have no interest in your primitive primate-based superstition.
Well, this isn't so much superstition as a way to stop the end of the world.
Yeah, thing is, for them, the word already ended.
This is when time means nothing.
I have already seen that.
Yes, so have we in nightmares, and we are desperately trying not to see it in our reality as well.
Perhaps you'll die before it comes to fruition.
Well, we're trying to prevent that.
I can ensure you don't see it.
I would prefer you didn't.
All right.
I mean, if worse comes to worse and I'm huddled down in an alleyway with newspapers flapping along the rubble-covered streets, I may call out your name and ask. But I don't think so. We tend to try to live as long as we can.
Oh.
So that we can experience as much as possible.
You do not live very long. I wouldn't worry about it.
I worry
Well,
about
not
it.
by
I'd like to fix
comparison,
that,
no.
but having to find a way to fix that.
I mean, if you'd like to share your body with them, they're looking for a volunteer.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But for now, so we'll
Let's-
plan to do the ritual here.
Yeah, while the people are getting back and we're learning things, let's try to find the best spot in the city to do the ritual.
That
there-
seems like a good idea.
There's probably
Do
a
we-
eye enough point here. Like the desert had no eye point, but if we use a high point in the city, it should cover most of the city.
Do we have a map of Australia with us?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure Miles picked one up. There
Can you-
there are no high points around.
Damn.
Yeah,
It
we
is
already checked that. That's
Yeah.
why I'm proposing an eye point in the city.
It
It's
is-
an underground city, and we do it eye in
yeah.
the city underground, like on top of one of those skyscraper thing.
Maybe. I mean, that's the highest spot we saw.
It would still be on the
Oh,
ground.
wow, that is flat. I've got Google Maps up. I'm like, oh dear. Yeah, there's like an occasional hill, and that's about it.
So maybe that the ritual will not be optimal, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna be inefficient.
Because they seem to be wanting to do the ritual inside the city. So if we can at least ward the city, that should do
At the
something.
spot that they were doing that ritual, yeah,
Well,
most definitely.
maybe not the spot, but anything above it.
There's not really anything above it that you know. I mean, there probably is. Maybe you'd have to do quite a bit of wandering around.
Wasn't it like a city, a full size city inside a big grotto with skyscraper?
Oh, there are parts here and there that are like this entire thing is like thousands of miles in diameter.
So maybe a high
Who
point.
finds so many miles to put together?
Just a high point next to the place where they were doing the ritual. That could work.
You can definitely try to find one.
Gary will try to do this while everybody's learning stuff that makes him afraid. He'll try to find a high spot
Gary going wandering around by himself.
with a pen and a paper.
Okay. All right. Gary, you can give me a navigation roll.
Gary's dead.
We have pilot string something.
Hell yeah.
So,
I don't have enough luck to make it work.
are you wandering far enough away that there's a danger of getting lost, or are you sticking primarily to the area that you know?
I'm sticking primarily to the area that I know. I mean, I'm not a zealous person.
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, you wander around for a fair bit. I mean, the area of the city that you're in, there are like very distinct corridors that lead you to where you've been. You can find those places fairly easily. If you start wandering off into the darkness, into the area that these cultists have not excavated, where there's no lights and no electrical and no generators, A, you will probably get lost and starve to death, and B, there are still creatures out there.
Yeah, no, I'm not that fond of like surprises. And I had my share, so I'm gonna let surprises for the other ones.
Okay. So yeah, but you do look around, and I mean, you don't see anything, and there might be ways. It's just if the cultists haven't excavated it, then it's dark and foreboding.
So I just come back with sadness in my heart and telling them that it's kind of no go on that front.
Well,
There was nothing high enough? Or
Well, remembering that there's still beasties and um stuff and no maps and millions of miles taped together, I'm not like so sure that I'm that of an explorer. So in what we have seen yet, no, there's no good spot to ritualize our insanity.
From everything you guys have explored so far, your best option is probably the temple where the cult was doing their ritual. At the very least, that's where the gate is.
don't have anything better that should do.
Not unless you want to risk life and limb.
Time is of the essence. If we suffer more reversal, we might not be able to complete this. So, yeah.
Right. So yeah, so over the next like week and a half or so, while you guys wait for the new moon, Kakakta can teach the gate ritual to any or the gate spell to anybody who wishes it. It's important to note that gate is permanent. So like if you open a gate from here to Australia, it is a permanent gate from here to Shanghai.
Okay.
Oh dear.
When you make it, you can make it so that there's like a key that's necessary. So like a specific object somebody has or a code word or something, you can like put those safeguards in.
Good.
But a gate once created is permanent. But you guys spend some time. Miles continues to heal. Alvin is bubbling along nicely.
Bubbling along nicely. Fantastic.
It's like a soup or a
Oh
stew.
man, that's
All right.
so horrible.
The full moon comes. You guys have successfully cast the Eye of Light and Darkness before, so you don't have to make any rolls for it. It's just a matter of the time and the cost. Who all is taking part?
Everybody, I think.
What if you clone 12 people to do it? No, okay.
I don't think we could clone them fast enough.
I thought about it, and I decided it was a bad plan.
So yes, it is 100 power divided evenly amongst the participants.
Ah, I only have 47. How many of us are there?
I have 55.
4?
There's 4.
Ugh. 24
Because
for me.
Alvin's not a person yet.
Correct.
It's 25. How much? 100 or
Yep.
200?
100 divided evenly amongst the
Oh,
participants.
thankfully. Okay,
Sorry.
so 25 each.
Sorry, Chris, we're losing power or magic points?
Power.
And that's permanent.
And that is permanent. Oh, I mean, you can suck the souls out of people and gain power back.
Yeah, I didn't
I
manage to learn that spell.
I did.
Yeah, I know.
That's because you're a horrible, horrible person.
Little bit. Sometimes I'm down to 22.
Yep.
That's sanity?
Power.
Oh, power, okay.
My sanity's 30. So, I mean, it's not much better.
The downside to doing this too is your power determines your magic points, and Evelyn, who's your primary spellcaster, only has 4 magic points.
Yep. I'm gonna do terrible, terrible things between here and China.
But you guys, I mean, it takes a toll on you by the time of it. Like, Evelyn is, looking pale and drawn, circles under the eyes. Looks like she's lost like 15 pounds just being here, and there wasn't a lot of her to start with. Like, she's looking drawn.
So sorry, what kind of ritual are we doing right now?
The Eye of Light and Darkness, the one that wards the gate. Stops it so beasties can't use it. Cultists can't use it. But unless you guys have anything else you need to do in the Great City, we can just fast forward through some time until Miles and Alvin are back on their feet.
Yeah,
I'm good with
Gary's at 27 power.
I mean, about 2.5 weeks or so after you do the ritual, Miles is back to full capacity, and Alvin wakes up out of his coma.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
So basically, after 5 weeks total, is when Miles is fully healed and Alvin has woken up from his coma, or what he perceives to be his coma.
Okay.
Alvin's eyes kind of flutter open, and lets out a gasp.
I'm alive.
You are.
Yes.
Welcome back.
So
Oh,
glad
is
to
it-
hear your voice.
Is it so good to see you guys? Oof. Alvin looks down. I'm assuming he's in like naked or in a sheet or something.
He has a sheet for a PG-13 rating.
Wow, I feel remarkably good. How long was I out?
5
Couple
weeks.
of weeks.
Weeks.
Yep.
What happened?
You got
Did
shot.
we win?
I think.
We sort of won. We're one step closer to our goal.
The ritual has been done and the place is sealed. The voice in Evelyn's heads has been fed, and it's with its help we were managed to fix you up.
I'm sorry. The ritual was done?
Yep. Our ritual, the ritual of light, the eye of light and darkness, to seal this place up.
Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry.
It's all right.
Oof. Sorry.
jumping
It's
in-
just a
it's
little
jumping
hard
in
to
my
think.
mind.
We're gonna have to have more assistance for the other one because this one took a toll.
Yeah.
The other one, what's left? He says as he's like grabbing his head, trying to get his memory straight.
Yeah.
They seem to be
China.
wandering for some reason.
We need to go to
We
China. Last spot.
China, right. China.
Mm.
What's the last thing
Right.
that you remember?
Oh, we were in a pitched battle with the cultists. I think we were
Mhm.
shooting them. We were doing really well. And I saw one of them kind of pull out a gun and shooting my way. I thought I dodged, but then I felt a sharp pain. I must have fallen over and lost consciousness because, boy, was I afraid in that last minute.
It is good to see you back, though.
Yeah, it's good to not be dead.
The I talked about Evelyn's contact because you might see it. I just didn't want you to jump.
What do you mean see it? It's not a voice in her head anymore?
We fretted.
No.
We fretted its
Yeah.
ear.
And
We
this
freed it?
creature kind of steps out of the shadows. Looks like that.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Watch out, he says. Alvin says.
The cultists had imprisoned it.
Alvin, since
It's fine.
your first time seeing Kakakatak, you can give me a sanity roll.
Oh.
I was trying to prepare him for that.
Yeah.
Can you be
Success.
prepared for that?
Nope, but I had to try.
Not easily, no.
Success. You still lose 1 point of sanity.
Alvin screams out, "Look out! It's behind you!"
Yeah,
It's
we-
fine.
And he like goes for a
It's-
weapon,
Yeah, it
which he
is.
doesn't have.
No, don't.
This is fascinating.
It's fine, Alvin.
Chris, just confirm to me. It is making noises to speak, right? It's not telepathically speaking in my head.
It's making like this weird clicking sound that you hear as speech in your head.
I was gonna say it doesn't look like I have a mouth, right? So
Nope, it is making
Alvin
a
kind of
weird clicky
pauses.
sound.
And he looks around. He's trying to assess if everyone has been mind controlled by this thing.
It's fascinating.
No, he's
I-
awful, but he's okay.
I haven't seen the so-called lizard brain in action.
Hmm.
Would any-
Who's calling who a lizard? Lizard?
Shut up, monkey.
it's the
No.
Are you guys hear this, or is it
The-
just me? Am I going crazy here?
No, Alvin. Calm down.
lizard brain is the fight or flight response. It's not you're not the lizard, but we all have that part of the brain.
Chris, I'm naked. How big is this thing?
It's about 7 feet tall.
Those look like really big pincers. My
They are.
assessment is I can't take it, right?
No.
No.
Definitely not.
Alvin, just by the way, is very clearly looking for a weapon. Like he's not moving, but his eyes are looking around. He's trying to assess the situation here. There is a quite obvious monster among us
Uh-huh.
that we have been fighting, and it looks tentacly. Right?
Yeah.
It does look
That's
tentacly.
reasonable.
Okay.
So the actual description: enormous iridescent cones about 10 feet high and 10 feet wide at the base, made of a ridgy, scaly, semi-elastic matter. From the apex projects 4 flexible cylindrical members, each a foot thick and of a ridgy substance like that of the cones themselves. The members are sometimes contracted almost to nothing and sometimes extend to any distance up to about 10 feet. Terminating 2 of them were enormous claws. The end of a third was a four red trumpet-like appendages. The fourth terminated in an irregular yellowish globe some 2 feet in diameter and having 3 great dark eyes arranged along its central circumference. Surmounting this head were 4 slender gray stalks bearing flower-like appendages, whilst from its nether side dangled 8 greenish antennae or testicles. The great base of the central cone was ringed with a rubbery gray substance which moved the whole entity through expansion and contraction.
Ew!
It even sounds disgusting.
God! Holy hell.
So yes, it's important to
Lovecraft
note.
needed a therapist.
So yes, when Kakakatak moves, they do not walk. They kind of like ooze. They undulate.
Undulate.
They slurp.
That's what I was going to say. Undulate.
Undulate is a vastly underused word.
I like undulate. Alvin.
I'm disgusted by the precision of that word.
It's funny because right now I pulled up my character sheet. I'm looking at Alvin's face, and I'm looking at the thing, and I'm like, how do you reconcile those two?
Yep.
It was
So Alvin will get up off of the gurney or whatever he is, and wrap the sheet toga-like around him. While he's doing this very deliberately, he's looking for motion from the monster.
Nope.
Evelyn's gonna come down between them. It's fine. I've
Is it?
realized it is, because without their medical knowledge, you would not be here.
So that causes Alvin to look down and to like grope his own body. Like, what did it do to me?
and the cultists were trying to capture it and do things with it.
They succeeded.
So Chris,
They
I
forced
just
me to
wanna
work on
confirm-
devices for it.
I want to confirm Alvin in his cursory check of himself. Are all his limbs there? He has 10 fingers, 10 toes,
10 fingers, 10 toes.
1 belly button.
1 belly button.
Probably missing some scars.
What did they make you
Unless they just recreated his body as it was.
They were
That's for Chris to tell me.
yeah, no, everything is where it's supposed to be. It is basically an exact duplicate of Alvin's body.
Okay.
Wait,
Where are my clothes?
on the table over there.
So he's gonna go towards his clothes, but he is never going to put the monster behind him.
Kakatak.
If that means he has to walk backwards or whatever, he's gonna do.
Evelyn's gonna give a slightly panicked look toward his clothes, because she never even considered that they've probably got holes in them.
Kakatak.
and are
Instead, they forced
tad
you to make
bloody.
something?
Yes, they wanted me to explain how devices worked, how to help them to build something with which to poison the sky.
So you're not pro poisoning the sky, Alvin says, trying to put on his pants, which are dirty and grimy.
They asked for my assistance. I provided what I could under duress.
So you didn't want to help them.
No.
Chris, I'm going to just go so far as like to say Alvin is trying to figure out if he's lying, but I don't think there's any amount of psychology that'll make me read his body movements.
No.
Good luck with that.
So,
God, it's like the whole country is made of Saskatchewan.
We saw some of the pieces they made and shipped around. Technology they got from this city.
they were,
Uh-huh.
yes, they're building a device.
What's the device? I
I,
didn't realize. I didn't think to ask.
I do not know. I provided them information on rare types of metals that are extremely dangerous for living creatures.
They want to poison the sky.
They have built a explosive device of some nature.
Is it the kind of thing that just destroy things, or is that the kind of thing that was going to breach reality?
I do not understand how your primitive superstitions work.
You taught us about dimensional physics.
Well,
Could that bomb
that is science.
create breach of that kind?
Well, perhaps.
Okay.
Chris, everyone is surprisingly normal about this, right?
Everybody seems to be, yes.
I had 5 weeks to get used to that.
So I'm going to say that everyone is very okay with this, and that makes me not okay with this.
What are you? Sorry, go ahead.
We've been waiting for you to heal for 5 weeks. We've
Maybe
had
2 months?
time. 5 weeks? It's been just over a month. Yes. You were gravely injured. And that saved your life.
He kind of gropes his body again.
Because we asked it to. And it was willing to help us.
Alvin's going to look at it again and say, well, that was a good job, Doctor. I think I need a minute.
Yeah, I get that.
Nobody moves. Like he's like, I need a minute, and everyone's like, yeah, let's just hang out here.
We'll just stand here and watch
a minute
you have your
alone.
Yes. I need to put together my thoughts here.
I'll give you some space.
Yes, that too.
Okay,
Is
so
the-
see you later.
Does it go anywhere?
It goes back to like doing work in its laboratory.
Am I in its laboratory?
Yes.
It
Alvin
undulate
kinda-
elsewhere.
Jesus Christ, you're not helping. he kind of grabs Evelyn like over by the shoulder, like if he's gonna take a friend in confidence, he's like, Evelyn, you need to
Yes.
tell me what is going on here. And he like starts walking, like with his hand around her shoulders, like walking towards the door.
Well, um, you remember when we were going through the passages? Yes?
Yeah.
All right. And I had coffee and alcohol that I was bringing to something that I was speaking to in my head.
Yes.
Yes, this is him, her, it.
Her,
Which one of
actually.
I'm
those? All of them?
her, her. She's immensely intelligent
Uh-huh.
and old and sees us as being primitive but interesting. This is just one corner of the universe for her. And the fellow that we were attacking had trapped her. So we set her free. She's been courteous and helpful, and we are being polite.
Differential
She
and afraid.
she occasionally forgets that we're not at her
Her?
intellectual or her technological or intellectual level. And sometimes she is very aware that we are primates.
Okay.
She and her machines can do things we've never dreamt of.
Okay, but what is she gonna do when we're gone?
She's going to go back to watching. Her name in the books that you refuse to read, rightfully so. I'm not going to encourage you to read them. But she's known as the observer. She watches, she learns things, she experiences things, like the coffee and the alcohol that I brought. That's it. She's not trying to destroy us. She's not trying to bring about some terrible apocalypse that poisons the sky. She was being tortured until she gave up, apparently, some information. But that doesn't really matter now because we killed them. So.
And she'll come over with like a bunch of papers in like one of her claws. Like this is what the other monkey wanted.
Oh, thank you. I'm not sure we'll understand it, but thank you anyhow. Um, were the ones that we saw here, um, Carver, wait, let me go back through my notes. These cultists that are dead now, they're the only ones you saw?
Yes, I didn't see all of them,
Okay.
but any that have run into the tunnels have probably been eaten by the polyps, so...
The what now?
Polyp? Are they the ones, the creatures that fly?
They are ancient enemies. Do not go wandering by yourself.
Oh, we try not to, but we've run into them. Well, one, almost. They tried to eat us. We think. Yes, we will try to avoid those. But good, because if the papers are still here, that means they weren't able to give them to anyone else, which means no one else has this information.
Well,
That's good.
these are only initial things, so I could teach the humans what to do. They have the knowledge. They built the device.
They built it.
Yes.
Oh. Well, did they build it here?
No.
Or, of course not. That would be too easy. Never mind, Alvin. Apparently some of this is not... Did they say where they were building it?
They did not.
Or that they completed it?
The one that had captured me spoke with the other one. The other one said, "Thank you very much. Continue to send us the parts," and then left.
Oh. Do you know how long ago that was?
She like gives you like an exact time frame down to like the minute and second, and it was like months ago.
Well,
Okay, Alvin's going to take a minute. I'm going to be right back.
Okay.
we probably intercepted some of those parts. But that... Oh, I know we definitely intercepted some of them because they went to an entirely different country. All right, so they probably don't have all of the parts they need to complete this. That's good. Evelyn will look over the papers to see if she can find some of the parts that we have run into, like the bits that Luther took
Sure. You can give me a mechanical
and
repair roll.
the parts that we stole.
Yep.
Mechanical repair. Oh, that'll be funny. Yeah, my 10. That'll do well.
But you managed to do it.
So Evelyn, you're looking over, and yeah, you definitely recognize some of the parts and some of the components.
My dice are apologizing for last night.
So yeah, like some minor pieces here and there that you recognize as stuff that you found in England. What draws your attention on these things, though, is the word radium.
Radium. Where do I know that word from?
Do you talk about it loud?
She would probably mutter it out loud, yeah.
Are we allowed to do a science roll that we will?
Absolutely.
I'll try. I don't expect it to get me far, but hey, I didn't expect to. Ooh, no.
Yeah, I just had biology, so nope.
Only science I got is astronomy.
Ah, radium. It's an invented word. Probably doesn't mean nothing.
All words are technically invented words.
So yeah, you know you've seen the word radium before, probably at some point when you were talking to Luther about things, but no idea what it actually is.
I'll ask. Because I'm sure Kakakatak has probably gotten used to Evelyn just asking questions nonstop like a child. What's radium? The word's familiar, but I can't remember why.
It is a naturally occurring radioactive metal.
Oh,
Bearing in mind it's 1924, none of you guys know what radioactive means.
Yeah, it was my next question.
I'm guessing it doesn't actually have anything to do with radios. What is radioactive?
Let me put this in terms that you will understand. It is an energy that is inimical to biological life.
What's anamical?
Bad.
It's
It's gonna kill it. It's gonna kill
poison.
everything that's alive.
It's the poison they're using on the sky.
I believe that is their intent.
They're making a bomb with that.
Maybe?
Mm.
I mean, they were trying to. Luther stole this part and this part. And I'm pretty certain we have this part.
Yeah, I have the fossil of that somewhere in the box,
So,
but not
I
the
mean, they're
original. Just have the
going to.
fossil they use as a mold.
None of the pieces that we have are marked radium, are they?
None.
No.
Oh, good. Just wanted to make sure that we weren't carrying radioactive bits around with us.
Well,
great
if we
souvenir,
have,
I think.
if
That'd
you
be
have
bad.
wristwatches, probably we do.
I mean, or I don't know if
Radium
they were
girl.
making radium glass.
No,
if it
but
was later.
they were radium for the night seeing stuff.
Yep, everything that glows in the dark. Radium
Yeah.
paint.
But I think like radium glass, like the servingware that they were making, I think that was later. I think that was in the 30s.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, they were that.
Like
Yeah.
that creepy
Uranium.
glowing tableware. It's like,
Those,
oh,
those
that's
things.
bad.
Those things, yeah,
I have a few of those.
So terrible.
I'd have another serving of cancer, my dear.
Can't imagine
I'm
why
back.
it was so rampant. Alvin, how's your science? Or
Not.
Oh. Well, mine wasn't either, but yeah. We're looking at the papers that Kakaktak gave me, pointing out the pieces that we've stolen and the bits that Luther took with him back to the States.
I imagine
And
that we kind of look like Zoolander while they try to open the computer.
Yep.
That's how
we're
she sees
talking
us, though.
about radium, and that's probably what they're going to try to use to poison the sky. So, I don't think they'll be able to poison the sky. Well, I mean, if we wait. Obviously, that won't be it. They will. They'll just recreate the parts we stole. But we've at least slowed them down. Hopefully.
But what would they gain by poisoning the sky over?
They're cultists of
Look, I don't know a lot about science, but some poisons kill certain things, other poisons kill other things. Maybe they're not trying to kill everything.
they're definitely trying to kill us.
I mean, they're trying to bring their god here.
And
Which is an entity beyond our comprehension.
isn't everything.
I was about to say that.
But a god of death and destruction, and how else do you serve up
last time they
everything?
did their thing, a volcano erupted and killed millions of people. So I assume they probably need lots of people dying at the same time to do their ritual. They might want to use that device instead of the volcano this time.
Look, I'm not a thinking person or a genius like you guys. Okay? I will say this,
I don't think I'd go that
right?
far.
I will say this. We have figured out a way to stop them. Let's
Yes.
do that. We don't
We
need
are.
to know more. We don't need to research more books. We don't need to understand the science behind it. All we need to do is to do what we need to do to stop them. That's
Attack. If I was in front of the built device, could you teach me how to render it useless?
It would take considerable time.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Can't we just kick it until it breaks?
It's not a good idea with bombs. Don't kick bombs.
We have actual bombs? What?
The cultists are
Well-
making a bomb with that radium thing that is enemy of all things alive. I just want to be able to pull the plug without it exploding.
I second that.
While not making it totally useless, could you at least tell me how to disamorse? How do you say that?
Diffuse.
Defuse it? What part
Remove
should
one
I
of the
remove?
parts.
What part should I remove? What wire should I pull?
So Kakak will come closer. And will basically lay a clawed, tentacly hand upon you.
Uh-oh.
Upon
Oh, yeah.
who?
Me.
On Eugene.
Oh.
Eugene's been flirting
dear.
with madness, but now it's literal.
That's good.
And
That should make it on the podcast.
and I need Eugene to give me a power roll.
I know Kung Fu. Nice.
It is an opposed power roll.
So he's gonna basically be like Neo of the nuclear physics.
So yes, so Kakatak does impart telepathically upon you. Ooh, nice. 9 points of science electronics.
Nice. I have demolition as a skill.
Yep.
I don't know if it applies to disamorsing bombs.
No, you can certainly try it.
Well,
That is such a keeper thing to say.
let's disamorse atomic bomb, I guess. Thanks, Katak.
That name is
I'm never sure if I say enough or not, or too much ka in that name.
Is there anybody else who wishes to learn?
Learn what exactly?
Basic science functions that apparently your primate minds have not yet fully grasped.
Or that we just haven't been taught.
Wait,
Some of us go
Are
to
you-
school for different things.
are you saying you put the science in our mind?
Yes.
Man, that certainly felt like it.
What else are you going to put in there?
What else would you like me to put in there?
Oh dear.
Alvin gives him the eye. Well, he only has two, though. I know that he's outnumbered there, but
that discussion is delightful.
Alvin's having some trouble adjusting.
Alvin's the paranoid one, remember?
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. He has sat awake on windowsills more than once.
And now people are putting things into my friend's brains.
Yeah.
I sorry, I use that term as loosely as possible. It's not necessarily people that are putting things into my friend's brain.
Well, perhaps then we have outstayed our friendship.
I
We're
wouldn't say that. Alvin's just having some trouble adjusting. He did sleep for 5 weeks, so
your help is greatly appreciated.
I have
Our
work
time
to
is-
do. And
Our time is running
Yes.
short too. We will need to go, but we're probably gonna use the science you taught us to open a way to where we need to be. It's gonna leave from what you taught us. It's gonna leave the door, the path open. So I assume you don't want it to be too close to your workspace.
I would prefer not.
Maybe we should
Oh,
go
dear.
outside of the city to do that. Like, not open a gate directly to the ancient city of Yet to the jungle of China.
Hmm.
It's gonna be already bad from directly from Australia to China, but
We should go back and get the rest of our stuff
oh yeah, you're right.
and do it from there because we have things that are dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. More time we need to spend, but yeah,
But it's not 2 months traveling by boat. So,
we need to hurry.
a week getting back to our hotel room isn't horrible by comparison.
Yeah.
But one of us needs to come back here after everything. Yes?
For what
Is
reason?
that how you wanted to experience things?
No, it is not necessary for you to come back.
Oh. You'll come to us then.
Yes.
Okay.
Chris,
Okay.
again, my assumption is it is completely impossible to read this thing.
Yes, you are correct. And Kakakatak basically not so politely indicates the door. Apparently has had enough of Alvin's questioning it.
I don't blame it.
You said that it allowed us to flip through its library for the 5 weeks. Its repository.
You have access to the
If you know
archives.
how to read Yithian,
Yeah,
Uh,
that was the follow up to that.
Yeah, it is all in a language you do not understand at all.
Yeah, with the well dimensional physics class and the library, uh, is making any headway on that language a possibility?
No.
That's where I was going. I don't think I would learn anything else than, oh, this is the letter A.
Yeah.
The main thing is we don't find our names. That's the main thing.
Right. So, you guys are escorted out of the lab.
All right, we need to get back to town. Alvin, you all right?
My shirt was unrecoverable.
Uh, probably yes.
No, that was a
Um,
statement.
You might want to keep your sheet. And
Well, my pants are okay.
well, yes, but the sun's rather harsh.
Right, we're in the desert.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes,
my memories are all jumbled up.
that's all right. That's fine. Right. So avoid the. I'm trying to remember what they were called.
polyps.
Thank you. Yes.
So you guys are just making your way back outside.
To the best of our ability.
Okay. No problem at all. Like I said, the area that the cultists have excavated is where the electric lights and everything are. You guys can easily find your way back and out. Although when you do, Robert McKenzie is not here.
I mean, it's been 5 weeks, right?
It has been like well over a month.
Didn't we say
Yeah.
that before we wasted the time, we go out and tell him about, like, that was mentioned? I remember saying something about that. And Chris saying that we could totally do that. Something
Yep.
like that.
Yep, but he
So
is not
he's
here.
not. Yeah, obviously.
Your vehicles are here. He is not.
Are all of the vehicle there, or
Yep.
oh shit?
Chris, on a completely selfish note, and possibly because we might be going into combat because something ate him, is Alvin carrying all his equipment?
Yeah, I mean, all of your equipment was set aside, so.
Minus a shirt. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, there is no sign of Robert.
Oh, I was hoping he
Sorry,
would.
no
That
sign of
means
who?
there are no parts. No parts of Robert scattered around either.
Do you make spot hidden rolls?
I would like to, yes.
Alvin
If
is
he
suddenly
left a
back in his
note.
element. Or not. He's going to push that roll. Chris, what's the downside of pushing that roll?
The downside is probably you will find unpleasant things.
Like that you are a clone of yourself.
Miles.
So Alvin will push that roll by going underneath the vehicles to see if anything was there. Hopefully none of the vehicles roll over him. To see if there's if the vehicles have been moved or try to track steps or anything like that. Is that okay, Chris?
Yep. Right.
I rolled a 3.
So, Evelyn and Miles and Alvin, as you guys are looking around, no sign of Robert anywhere. No sign of him. And then, Evelyn, you find one of his boots with his like foot and ankle still inside it.
Mhm.
And then Miles and Alvin, since you guys both got extreme successes, you see a fair distance away and mostly covered by sand, most of his body, and it looks like a lot of the flesh has been basically flensed off the body.
I'm sorry. Did you say flensed off the body, as in
Flensed.
shorn off?
Flensed, it's another great word.
Sorry, whose body is this again?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, the guy that you brought with you.
Our fucking guide.
When Evelyn finds the foot, she'll kind of retreat back from it with a slight squeal of alarm.
Stay back. Like,
I found part of him.
yeah, we found more of him. Stay back.
Oh, I don't want to see that. God bless.
I give Miles the look of like, let's take a look. And I pull out a weapon just in case.
Eugene's gonna grab his
All right,
protection
I will-
amulet and just bow his head and send a little like prayer for the dead or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that too from Gary. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
And sorry, what was Miles doing?
I'm going to follow Alvin. I'm curious, are there any tracks of any kind, whether it's vehicle, animal, human?
As you're looking around, since you got an extreme success in your spot hidden, there are tracks. They look like to Miles as a hunter and with some knowledge of wild animals, they look like bat prints, but they're probably be about the size of two of your hands put together.
Did it look like an animal did this as we close onto the corpse? I asked Miles. Miles,
I'm sorry?
does it look like an animal did this?
It looks
Is
like
it
a giant bat did this.
A giant bat tore the
This is what-
skin and flesh off this dude?
That's my best educated guess right now. Perhaps a flying fox that went, I don't know, feral or some such. Or perhaps it was summoned. Perhaps a giant bat that was summoned by the cultists. Or something bat-like.
Chris, obviously dead. Did it
Yes.
look like he had a weapon nearby? Did he put up a struggle? Is like there anything that we can know about where this came from, when it happened, or anything?
When it happened, it's really hard to say just because of the climate. Probably not terribly long ago. You do find like his rifle, like nearby, buried under some sand. The way that the sand and stuff is kicked up, there was like obviously some sort of wind or wind buffet. So yeah, you don't know. I mean, you pick up the rifle, take a look. Shots have been fired.
But there's no blood around. There's no dead giant bat.
The only blood seems to be from him, and there is no giant bat that's dead or alive.
Alvin looks up because that's always an important thing to do.
And apparently, for those who are interested, apparently flensing is the removal of the skin from the fatty tissue underneath.
Yep.
The more you know.
It's normally very precise,
Ew.
which is why when you said it, I was like, animals don't just remove, like they consume.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Well, we have gourmet bats.
Alvin looks over at Miles. They just took the skin?
Chris, can I do an occult or a mythos roll to see why you might just take skin?
Yes, absolutely.
Which one would you prefer? I'm sure I know what the answer is. but-
Occult.
Nah, I am not pushing that.
Like, I mean, you've heard tales of things that require skins, usually animal skins, but nothing comes immediately to mind.
Right. Chris, is there any way that we can? I mean, this is a desert. Burying him in the sand feels like it would not serve a gigantic purpose.
He's mostly buried now.
That's what I was about to say, and I thought it was cruel.
Can we finish burying him and like put a cairn around him, like just stack a bunch of stones?
Sure.
The only thing I'm going to do that is borderline immoral is check to make sure that he doesn't have one of the vehicle keys in his pocket.
He did, actually.
Ew. Great. I'm going to do that then. If anyone chooses to help me, that's their prerogative.
Yes, most definitely I will.
Yeah, gonna give a hand and say a few words.
And Evelyn's gonna give a feat.
Yeah, we're gonna need that.
Yeah, I'll very delicately carry the boot over, making sure I don't touch the foot inside.
But yes, you guys can give Robert a proper burial. And then you guys start making your way back to Port Headland.
We're not trying to find something somewhere nice to create a gate.
We need to go fetch our stuff
No.
back in town.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry,
I mean-
I was.
We can't just leave it behind for someone else to find.
I assumed you brought your stuff with you instead of leaving it unguarded in a shanty town.
That's what I assume, but
I mean, maybe the stuff is in one of the trucks. I don't remember, to be honest.
I assume it's never very far from us. But
That's true.
I assume
do
the
usually
the
keep it
mythos
close.
the mythos books and the artifacts and stuff that you guys have collected over time. I imagine you don't leave just sitting around in a town where most of the buildings are
Yeah.
tents.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I can go back to see if I wrote it down.
well,
Like-
I have a big box that is locked with some of the books and the artifacts in it. That is one of the things I carry around.
Yeah, I assume it's on the truck.
Okay.
Since there's literally no place safe you could have left that in Port Headland.
Chris, without him, do we have I mean,
Any
I'm
chance
gonna
of
look at
going back?
Miles. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm kind of looking at Miles as our overland expert. But do we have a hope in hell of getting back?
Yeah, I
Well-
mean, Miles, I'm sure, can navigate. You guys have maps. You have a compass.
The question is, where do we want to do that portal?
Chris, that's not saying I have a map and a compass. It doesn't necessarily mean I can navigate myself with like anywhere.
Yeah, but this is kind of Miles's, like, he's a hunter and guide, and he should be able to be
So
navigating.
Alvin is going to straight up go to Miles, like on the side, making sure that no one hears him because he doesn't want to stem panic if he doesn't have to. Can you get us back?
I love that you have such confidence in yourself, but you don't have as much confidence in your cohorts. And I walk away.
Wow. Miles is feeling stressed.
I'm going to go with yes.
The question remains, where do we want to do the portal?
Well,
Because it's gonna stay there.
it
Maybe
is.
maybe we don't want to do it close to the city.
Right. That's why we're
But
trying to get away.
if we do it and we use it as an quick escape, if things goes to shit in China, maybe we want it to be some walking distance of something. So if we ever have to use it as an emergency exit, we can walk to town. So maybe a walking distance from town, but not directly into it.
Well, that's better than my suggestion. I was going to say let's just drive out into the desert as far away from everything as we can get.
I mean, we can put a key that you
Your
need
idea
to,
makes more sense.
we can use a code word that you need to speak to be able to use the gate, so we won't have like
Absolutely.
kangaroo lost in China unless they speak the specific word we thought that should be undulating or something like that. But
That would be.
but yeah, maybe we should go close to town, but like a walking distance from town, but it's somewhere people don't go for fun. And
Right.
if we're
And
in shit, we can just run to the portal and get to Australia and walk from there.
we'll be leaving the vehicles behind.
Yeah.
I assume. I don't know what the gate will look like once it's open. I doubt that it will be big enough to drive a truck through, but I could be wrong. And do we know where the gate is going to open up? Because
Oh.
China's a bit big.
Good thing we've already been there, so we know a bit of the way around. I'll probably need to make some calculation to see where it pops.
We've been around one city.
Yeah, but we'll have to do with places we know. We need a spot that we know a bit. It's going to be close to the city we were in. We went a bit outside of it because of the place that was attacked by fish people. Since it's a bit out of town, I was thinking about that place. I don't know if we can split the burden like with the Eye of Light and Darkness on that one too.
Where you were attacked by the fish people was outside of Darwin.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't there a temple that we were not attacked by fish people, but people there were attacked, and we went there to check on it?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
That
where you're
place
talking
was a
about.
bit outside of town. Like
Yes,
not much,
it was a
but
bit outside Shanghai.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's the only place I know
a
in Shanghai that
monastery.
is. Yeah, that's the only place I know that is a bit outside of Shanghai that I've been to. So that was my bet.
The monastery that was in the newspaper.
Yep.
All right. So you guys are heading back towards town, but not all the way to town?
Yes.
Well, if you wanted to take some stuff, buy stuff from town before we go, we can. But otherwise, we can go to the designated spot. The point is to be the place where we're going to do the portal should be a place we could get to town on foot. Should we ever need to escape through the portal? And that's not a place where people usually go chill.
Mm. Yes. We don't want to be right on the path that farmers have been taking their cattle on.
Yeah, it's because at some point some guys will be singing a song about undulating, and he's gonna end up in China.
I can't imagine what song he'd be singing, but that's a terrible notion.
Who knows what kids are gonna be singing in 20 years?
I suppose that's true.
So, your trip back across the desert is fairly quiet and uneventful. And coyotes in the distance, kangaroos hopping around, but every once in a while, a strange whistling wind sound high above. But after about 5-6 days, you make it back to just to the outskirts of Port Headland.
Do anybody has any reason of us wanting to go in Port Headland before we go?
A fucking shower?
Yeah, that's the kind. That's the kind of point.
A shirt.
Yep, exactly. So
yes, you do need a shirt.
So supply, shower, shirt. People see us so they don't think we're dead in the desert. See us coming back in town.
Don't know that anyone here would really care.
Don't we need to inform someone about their next of kin?
I don't remember him saying he had any family, but I could be wrong.
We could inform the guy who put us in contact with him in Sydney.
The friend, right? It's true.
Maybe he knows who his family is. But if we do that, we might invite people looking for us to ask us questions about what happened. Like police
Well, they
and
won't
stuff.
find us because we'll be in China.
Yeah, but if anything, some of us might get out of China at some point.
We won't be coming back to Australia unless we have to.
I won't.
Unless we need to flee through, unless we need to flee through that portal, yeah, we probably won't.
And I mean, it's not if we send him a letter, for instance. It'll be a week at least before he gets it. We'll already be in China and either victorious or deceased.
Yeah.
None of us plan on coming back here. And even if we do come back here, no one else is going to be sitting outside this gate because no one knows where it is.
Yeah, you're right.
I must say that
So-
since I've seen Fish People and Shack Attack Attack, eating seafood is not in my top priority list anymore.
I can't say that crab has any appeal right now. No, for certain. No. Not even a little.
Crab's gonna judge us on our intellect.
Between crab and octopus and fish, no, seafood is off the table.
Chris,
Yep.
Alvin's been watching his companion, so he's been spending a lot of time with monsters recently. Do they seem normal?
As normal as they ever did.
Normal?
Fair point.
I mean, Evelyn lost a bunch of sanity. I'm down to 30.
They do seem as normal as they ever have. So yeah, you guys can easily stop off in Port Headland and pick up basic supplies, grab a shower, get some fresh clothes, get some like fresh food, all of that fun stuff. Not a problem. Nobody in Port Headland even looks at you twice at the fact that you've been gone for like 5 or 6 weeks.
And now what? We take a train?
No, we're
Or-
going to
or we're
send a
go-
letter
Oh.
to Mackenzie's friend to tell him about him passing. And then we're going to go outside of town, the opposite direction of the cattle runs, and open a gate to Shanghai. Hopefully. And we'll walk through instead of taking 2 months to get there by boat
And,
and
getting
train
there not on time.
things.
Who were the ones who bravely sacrificed to learn this ritual spell?
Oh, I said I would. You said you would. Don't know if you still on there.
Sorry, you're very faint again.
I said I'd be willing to do it, and you said you were willing to do it, and Rakatakatak said he would teach anyone who wanted to.
Yes,
And
but
I-
she's already kicked us out and says that we should leave.
No, she
I thought-
taught
I
she
thought-
taught you.
She taught.
Yeah, she taught you like in the second week you were there.
Okay, she did teach us. Okay.
Yep. Before Alvin woke up and started asking her all the questions and looking at her
Gotcha.
suspiciously all the time.
Gotcha.
I
Did
can't say
she
anything.
tell us? Did she tell us how to
It's valid.
specifically tune to the place we want to go to, or is it a crapshoot?
Nope, you decide where the gate opens when you cast it.
Oh,
It-
thank goodness.
It has to be
and, ca-
assuming everything goes right.
and can we share the power cost
No.
if we do it in group?
Nope.
Okay.
Opening a gate is a one person deal.
I got that. I was hoping.
What's the keyword?
Hoping.
No.
Undulating.
Undulating seems like a good keyword. No one is likely to be saying that on either side, other than us.
Can I
No one-
suggest a Yiddish word? I mean, there's no Jew around.
That's valid.
You can suggest a word in the language of the ancient city of Yip. It doesn't matter. No one's going to know.
Except us. But yes, I mean, anything that we use, no one's. As long as we're not choosing something stupid like cattle.
We can say
Port
yodele
Headland.
he ho or whatever.
So who is going to cast the gate?
I think Eugene was.
Well, depends.
I think.
It's either me or Miles. What do you think, Miles?
Hello?
I don't know if Miles is willing to cast a spell.
Oh, yeah, I've already cast one. Now it's just a slippery slope.
It is. It's a very slippery slope. Do be careful.
I will.
It's an exciting slope. Once you start downhill, there's very little holding you back.
Would the Vorish sign work on that spell?
It'll either help to make it easier or it will help to offset the cost if something goes wrong. One or the other.
Okay. So
All right, I'll get to work on casting it.
Alrighty. So where are you connecting the gate to?
I'm going to assume the familiarity helps. So maybe like when we came to Shanghai in the first place, it was by boat, correct?
Correct.
Maybe somewhere near near the port, but in a area that might not be as obvious for witnesses.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did have a little chase with people and luggage and everything through some of the alleys, so yeah, you can do that. All right. So a gate to China is going to cost 15 power, and it is going to
Okay.
take 15 hours to cast.
Okay. I will spend the 15, 15.
Yep. You don't
Okay.
have to spend it till after you make the roll because you also need to make a power roll.
Okay. All right. So what am I doing right now? Rolling?
Yeah, I need a power roll to successfully cast the spell.
Power. Okay.
The first time you cast the spell, you have to roll to see if you get it right.
I have just enough luck. I am going to spend it.
As you say, you could spend the luck, or you could push it. If you push it, something will go wrong, but you will successfully cast the spell.
If I spend it, I'll be down to 2 luck. You know what? What?
2 luck?
Yeah,
Holy cow.
2 luck. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Screw it. I'll do the push. I'll take the consequences.
All right. So you can make the roll again. If you succeed, pass or fail, the spell will work. But if you succeed, the consequences will be lessened.
Miles is on fire.
Let's hope not.
Chris, when you push a roll, is he
It could
pushing
be literal in this game.
Sorry.
Is he pushing a roll?
Yes.
Never mind. He succeeded. It's just we get to know what happens if something goes bad, right? Before you push it.
On a spell, it's different. Like the spell, like had he failed that, the cost would have been multiplied by d6. So it could have been up to 90 power. And if you run out of power, it basically eats your soul and you die. But he succeeded, so he doesn't get that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not horrible. All right. So like 15 hours in the desert, and Miles is, concentrating and doing extremely well. Using this, like, not so much magic as it is just like hyper physics that Kakakatak has imparted onto him.
In Delta Green, they call it hypergeometry.
Yep. And it does go through basically, like, assuming you guys started like after you shit shower shampoo in town. You go out, start doing the ritual, and it's easily like 4 o'clock in the morning as this what looks like a heat haze kind of materializes in front of Miles after about like 15 hours of work. And now you can spend the 15 power. The reason you spend the 15 after is because you have to make that power roll in the first place, and it seems really harsh to like take away all the power, now make the roll.
Yeah.
But there is what appears to be a gateway.
How big is it?
It's probably
2 a.m. in China.
yeah, it's probably like 7-8 feet across, maybe 7-8 feet high, kind of like a circular portal.
Poor Alvin's so paranoid right now.
Yep.
I
What
mean,
appears to be a gateway.
He didn't say a gateway appears. He said it appears to be a gateway.
That's just
mean,
how
that's
Chris
fair.
talk, like all the time. He just speaks like that, and it's ominous on this by design. Chris is just ominous. It's in his blood.
It
Uh,
appears to be a kangaroo.
appears to be is great.
Like flings it.
He like picks up a rock and kind of like throws it through.
Well, as what appears to be a gateway forms in front of you,
You hear it bouncing in Chinese.
no, there's a crack of thunder overhead, and this like kind of bluish purple lightning kind of arcs back and forth between some clouds over above where you are, and it starts to rain fairly heavily. Like one of those like sudden downpours, you know, where the like big thick rain pellets just like plummet from the sky.
Shall we go?
But
Take it.
as you look at one another, as the lightning flashes above you, there's color to that water.
Ah,
Is it red?
It is very red.
We need to go.
Is it
I'll
raining
should
on the other
definitely-
side?
You can't see through it. You just see like a heat haze.
I'm gonna open my umbrella.
Okay.
We need to go.
Why is it raining red?
I'm
If I
not
had an
sure, but I'd rather not find out.
If I had an explanation, I would be smarter and crazier right now.
Let's leave.
Nice job, Miles, but we need to go. What was the word in Yiddish you suggested for the
Haveren.
pavilion?
Haveren.
What does it mean?
Friends.
Say friend and enter.
Slow
Let
clap.
us leave.
Slow clap.
A book that won't be written for years yet.
All right.
Yeah.
So as you step through the shimmer, it costs everybody 1 sanity and 3 magic points.
Sorry, 1 sanity and 3 magic.
1 sanity and 3 magic points.
Oh dear.
And incidentally, if you can't afford the magic point cost, then it comes off hit points 1 for 1.
And how many magic points?
1 sanity, 3 magic.
Oh, I've
Phew.
only got 2.
Your magic points would have replenished over the travel.
Oh, now I've got 1.
Sorry, magic points replenished?
Magic points would have replenished over the travel. Yeah, they come back at the rate of
During
like
the-
1 per hour
full?
while you rest.
Okay,
Oh,
you
so
get
during
full
the
for magic?
5 weeks that we were waiting.
During all the time you spent waiting and everything, they would have come back. But you guys step out into an alley in China, and as you kind of like catch the sight of one another in the the kind of yellowish haze of 1920 streetlights, all of you are like covered in blood.
Yep.
I'll get some sanity rolls.
What if it's normal for us to be covered in blood? No, never mind.
It ruined my shoes.
It ruined my brain.
So Evelyn and Gary, each of you lose 1 point of sanity.
Okay. It's saying that my daily is 15 out of 6.
Yeah, that would have reset as well.
I was gonna say that. Thank you. I should have 2 though. Lost.
Yeah. But it is roughly 2 o'clock in the 2 o'clock in the morning in China. As you guys come like step out into this alley, it is thankfully like 2 in the morning.
And it was close to the port, so there must be water nearby.
It is very close to the port, so there is water nearby.
Chris, I just want to confirm.
Yep.
Alvin got brought back from the dead in a clone body.
Yep.
Tried to get a t-shirt on. The only thing he wanted when he reached civilization was to get a shirt, and then right now it's covered in blood.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
I was like, I just got this shirt. All right. But yes, you guys can, carefully make your way to the water to get washed off as best you can.
Well, we have our equipment with us. My assuming is we have other clothes. We can just ditch these clothes here.
Yes, it's more a matter of getting the water, the blood, like out of your hair and off your face and stuff. The clothing you can change down the alleyway into stuff out of your suitcase.
But our suitcases are covered in blood.
But your suitcases are covered in blood.
I need another shower.
Oh.
I mean the trunk that is holding all of the artifacts and the books is miraculously clean of blood.
Was under my umbrella. I'll assume to protect my man.
Seriously?
I will. It appears as though it was under the umbrella.
I need to get this off. And Evelyn will be kind of like holding her hands out and her arms kind of akimbo a bit so she's not touching herself. I need to get this off.
Yeah, Chris, I think that's everyone's thought. That's our priority one right now.
Do you
not
know
walk around like a murder suspect.
Do you know any hotels that we could go to right now in this place?
No. Not covered in blood.
I'm sorry, I have to reboot.
Yep, that's okay. I think we're just about done anyway. But yes, as you guys, get yourselves somewhat cleaned off, go down the alleyway, do the gentlemanly thing so Evelyn can change. But you guys are in China now. All you need to do is figure out what to do about Great Aragon Isle, which we will determine next time.
What date is it today?
It is, because you guys gated, it is actually only October the 10th.
Okay, we still have like 2 months.
I think. Oh wait, no, I forgot.
No, because we had to wait. Would be the 19th.
Just one sec here. I forgot to count. I forgot to change the date for the 5 weeks of healing time. And then
Sorry, the end of the world was yesterday.
no, so it is November 15th.
Oof.
Okay, last time.
Yeah. You have just under 2 months.
Okay.
Perfect. But yeah, we will pick this up next week as we move towards the conclusion of Master Nyarlathotep.
Chris,
Yes.
was the blood rain us?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
the complication of Miles.
That's the complication from Miles' spell. The really important question, the one that you have no real way to answer, is whether or not it's still raining.
Oh, I assume it is. That place
doesn't
is gonna
sound
be a
like our
mess.
problem.
And where it's coming from.
Well, it's coming from the
Right.
sky.
Whose blood
From the
is it?
sky, of course.
Whose blood is it, and how wide is the effect?
The cloud's
Mhm.
blood, I guess.
It's
That
color.
doesn't
like-
sound like our problem anymore.
It's like everybody.
I want to go back to
Not
Australia when
officially
this
a
is all
sorcerer.
fixed to go and
Ah.
fix the red rain, then we can do that. But
Everybody swore up and down they're not going back to Australia. So
Yeah,
somebody else's problem.
yeah, exactly.
I'm still mentally spotting the alleyway, so if I need to flee China, I can just portal back to Australia.
Yeah.
To the
you-
rains of blood.
Yeah. So you know.
There's going to be 3 inches of blood everywhere when you get back.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Bless the rains down in Africa.
it's Call of
Bless the
Cthulhu.
rains down in Australia.
I mean,
Blood the rain down in Australia.
who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
Miles' spell killed God, and that's his blood falling upon the earth.
Nietzsche would be
Jesus
proud.
Christ.
Great. That's
Nietzsche would be
terrific.
proud.
Hashtag life goals.
We're at the point of the story where I'm checking the emergency exit wherever we go. Like I'm looking for my exit now.
I just realized that my joke was funnier than I thought. I said Jesus Christ. And then, yeah.
All right. Everybody can roll for a luck increase.
You have not set up for development phase.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
I always forget with this. Click recover luck points or development phase.
Recover luck
Luck.
points.
Ooh, 2. Oh no, Miles.
No.
Oh, no.
At least I didn't spend all of that luck, and I'm down to like 2. Thankfully, I've still got my.
You would have gotten some luck if you did.
Everybody can basically, as a result of the time that you did spend in the city, just kind of milling about, folks, you can increase skills. So we'll do like you do when you travel. You can increase something new
Gary
or
Abraham did not receive any luck again.
so.
Oh,
Chris, I'd like to go on record. Not everyone was conscious during that or existed. Probably a better term. Not everyone existed during that downtime, so I'm guessing I don't.
You do not.
Chris, can you undo? Oh, never mind. I can undo it.
Yep. But yes, everybody can either learn a new skill or increase 2 existing skills. You can figure out what it is that you think might be important, and then we'll just do the point add-on next time. Give us some
Sorry,
time
how
to
much?
Okay.
1 new skill or 2 existing skills.
Okay.
I'll need you to take the 4 off of my mechanical repair. Please and thank you. Oh, there we go. Now I can do it.
Thanks a bunch, everyone. Good night.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Night, guys.
All right, everybody.
I mean.